welcome to another episode of RawRadiantHealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today is Tuesday, and I'm going to talk about how I healed myself of polycystic ovarian syndrome. Because as most of you know, I completely healed myself 100% naturally. I've never taken any medication for it, nothing. All I've done is changed my lifestyle and my diet, and I have completely reversed this condition. Now, for all of you that don't know what polycystic ovarian syndrome is, it's a syndrome it's an autoimmune condition pretty much, and it affects your endocrine system, where everything's off balance. Your hormones are off balance, your brain is not communicating with your reproductive system, so you might have cysts that are covering your ovaries, you're not ovulating, you're dealing with infertility, your hormones are usually completely elevated, and there's also thyroid issues, there's definite blood sugar issues, inability to metabolize sugar properly, pre-diabetes and diabetes and insulin resistance, things like that. Obesity comes with this because of the inability to process sugar properly and a low metabolism. And then there's also diabetes and heart disease that can later on happen. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and plus there's also issues of acne and excessive hair growth and all sorts of stuff. Okay, it's one of these things that it's not one thing that's off, it's everything is off, and your whole body is just completely off balance and overproducing too many hormones and underproducing others, and you're getting the effects of that. And what comes with that as well is a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, okay, because your blood sugar is off balance and your hormones are all over the place and you're just on a complete roller coaster ride. Now, with most women with this condition, the first thing doctors recommend is getting on to hormones and medication, and also for women to lose weight, because majority are overweight. And even someone that is morbidly obese, even if they lose 10 to 15 pounds, okay, a small amount, can actually have a big effect on their hormones and bring things down and even help them to regain their fertility. Okay, so small steps can actually have a huge impact. The only problem is that because metabolism is so low, even losing those 5 to 10 pounds can be quite difficult. More difficult than for the average person. Okay, and that brings on a lot of frustration. Now, my situation it was a little unique, was that at the time I was actually a little bit underweight. And doctors were at a loss because they're like, well, the first thing we suggest is to lose weight, and obviously you don't need to, but you do need to be watching it, because I can easily gain weight and it can be an easy downward spiral from there. So I was told not to lose it, not to gain any weight. And at the same time, since I refused to take any kind of medication or hormones, they were at a loss as to what to suggest. Okay, and the only thing was to watch my diet and to be on pretty much a diabetic diet, okay, not having any sugar. So at that time, I changed my diet. I've been a vegetarian for over 20 years, okay, and so at the time, I'd also found out I had a wheat allergy. So I'd cut out all processed wheat products, okay, like pasta breads, anything that had wheat gluten in it was out of my diet, okay, no flour, no nothing. And at the same time, I got on to pretty much kind of like a diabetic diet, okay, I was watching my sugar. I was not eating any processed sugar, and was having a little bit of fruit, but mostly low glycemic fruit like berries and cherries and apples and pears, okay, and watching it. But at that time, as a vegetarian, I was still eating cooked foods, but I was eating all whole foods, really staying away from a lot of that processed stuff. And it was good because I was learning how to eat whole foods, and I was learning how to substitute my vegetables, having that instead of having pasta and wheat products, okay? And I was having a lot of quinoa and millet and other grains that had no gluten in it, that were whole grains. And just from adjusting those two things, within a year, my hormones went back to normal. But I was still dealing with the acne, my period had stopped, and my ovaries still had the cysts, and I was depressed. Okay, so I'm still having problems and issues, and I found myself going from, a few months on a good diet, to a few months falling off and eating sugars and stuff. And it was back and forth for years. And into my early 30s, my acne was probably worse than it was then than it was in my 20s, okay? And I was frustrated because I was not getting any results. I wasn't getting my period for years, nothing. And, you know, I was feeling that depression and the everything coming with that, okay? And very up and down because my sugar levels were up and down. So into my early 30s, when I was about 32, which is 2 years ago, I got onto raw foods. Okay, and for me, since I've been transitioning to a raw food diet for years because I've been already vegetarian for so long, and I'd already cut out the wheats for so many years and processed sugars, things like that, that going into a raw food diet was very easy for me. Okay, it just meant not cooking my food pretty much. Okay, and I went overnight into a 100% raw food diet. And that's when I started seeing a lot of results, and quite dramatic results. Okay, within a month, my acne was starting to clear up. I was no longer getting more acne, it was going away. Within a few months, my face was cleared, and slowly the scarring, everything went away as well. Okay, and that to me was like a miracle, huge. And at the same time, my hormone levels were still normal. After a year of being on raw foods, I went and had another ultrasound, and my ovaries were completely normal. No cysts on it, nothing. All of it gone, gone, gone. Okay? And then for the past 6 months, I've had a regular period every single month. And finally, by all doctors and by the endocrinologists, everyone's concluded I am cured of polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've completely healed myself of it. No trace of it, nothing. Now, which is like a miracle, because you know what? Most people are told they can get it under control, but they're always told they can't actually heal it. Now, I'm a big believer in small changes make huge results. I don't believe in the torture and, and having to do things in an extreme, because a lot of times when we do things in an extreme, we go one way too fast, too quick, and then we swing the other way too fast and too quick. Okay, and thing is, a lot of times people expect, whenever someone's asking me, what are my suggestions, a lot of times people are expecting really something to be difficult, and they're quite surprised to hear that it's quite simple. Okay, but the thing is that you have to put in the effort. It's simple, and but it takes a while, but you'll get lasting results, and that's what matters. Okay, is you want lasting results. Okay, so not a quick fix. So the main thing is that I suggest to anyone is 2 things. Okay, exercise. In order to get your blood sugar back to balance, get your moods, get things working again, you got to exercise every single day. Cardiovascular exercise for at least a half an hour. And if that involves just going for a good walk every day, then do it. Or if you're going to run, you're going to ski, whatever it is, just go out and do it. Every day, at least half an hour to 45 minutes moving around. Second thing, diet, whole food diet. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's cooked or raw, get yourself on a whole food diet. Get rid of all processed sugars, all refined sugars, and even the wheat, okay? Any kind of processed wheat products like breads and pastas, things like that. Get off of it because it's high in sugar, okay? And it just transmutes into sugar. So when it's broken down, it turns into glucose. So all processed starches and flours, things like that, out, and all refined sugars out. Fruit and all that, fine. I mean, I was on a raw food diet overnight, and I ate whatever fruits I wanted, high glycemic, low glycemic. All these years I've been eating, and I haven't had an issue. I am sugar sensitive, so I do eat a little bit of like nut butter or seeds with my fruit just to keep it balanced, but I haven't been obsessed with, monitoring the fruit. I've been conscious of the fruit and conscious of how I feel after eating something and making adjustments from there, but that's about it. Main thing is that you just want to be eating whole foods, and that means everything coming in its natural form. And also cutting out or cutting down on the meats and animal products. Dairy products and meats have to be organic, and only have them once or twice a week, not every day. You will see results from that. And I'm going to leave you with that. So I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day. And if anyone wants private consultations with me, I do offer coaching and stuff. So just go to my website, www.rawradianthealth.com, and click on coaching and get in touch with me. All right, so have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow. Bye.